This is a random event? Gods no, shouts Krugel, his eyes bulging as he clamps a hand over the side of his bleeding neck. Oh, it went straight into his neck. Great. Azazel shouts Vanessa. Oh, Vesa, that's the demon. Oh, she just came here. Fucking hell. My old friend, says woman who must be Azazel as she bashes the flat of her... My old friend says the woman who must be Azazel. How do we not know? Right, she was not in the original form. But we have seen her original form, but may not be necessarily her original form when we first met her, maybe. Says the woman who must be Azazel as she bashes the flat of her sword blade against Krugel's head. Before Krugel's body hits the floor, dark shadowy rays erupt from Darren's outstretched hand at Azazel. She dodges, although one of the rays strikes her in the back. It seems to not affect her. So Krugel is dead. And... oh, so Darren is attacking Azazel because obviously she came into his like abode or whatever. So one of them hit her, but I guess Azazel is that strong. I mean, she was super strong, so I'm not even sure why this is even a combat sequence. But it's from the sound. I mean, from what I know from Viz's choice, if this is indeed that Azazel, and she should like one-shot everybody in this room. Like, there ain't no way they're gonna stand to this guy, this one. Even at the peak of my strength in Viz's choice, it was like it would have been a difficult fight if I went against her. And only when I had like full mana, only then. And with I could do it alone. Narison doesn't necessarily need to help, but it would be very difficult. It would be very difficult. Anyway, Azazel sets her eyes on you as she uncoils her bullwhip. Give me the scroll. Without waiting for you to comply with her order, she lashes out with her whip, the tip flank ripping across your flank, slicing through your clothing into your flesh. The sharp pain is so great that is all you can do is. The sharp pain is so great that it's all that you can do is to not. What the fuck is this sentence? The sharp pain is so great that it's all that you can do to not fall to the floor and beg. I don't understand. What the fuck is this sentence? Like, is it saying that we fell to the floor and cried and begged for mercy? Is it saying that we did not do that exactly that? It's just, what the fuck is this sentence? Fighting through the pain, you leap over, throw the scroll into the heart of the magical fire. The parchment flares up in an instant. Wait, hold the fucking phone here. I gave the parchment to Vesa. I'm guessing that right before we handed the parchment over to her, Azazel came in and she was like, she was like trying to square up with us, and that's why Vesa never got the parchment. Why did we destroy it? It wasn't a mission to hand it over and we could just like book it after that. She would not chase after us, but I don't know why we decided to fucking burn it. But okay. Fighting through the pain, you leap over, throw the scroll into the heart of the magical fire. The parchment flares up in an instant. I don't know why would that happen. Also, another interesting thing was Darren said that they don't have a copy of this document for whatever reason. Why wouldn't the house keep the copy of that document for like other people to buy it? Are they that lawful that they just keep one copy and give it to one buyer? The same information will not be given to other buyers? That's interesting. Anyhow, I mean, Darren didn't even take a look into the scroll. They really follow their order or whatever. Azazel screams some curse in her own foul language. As the whip cracks, you leap to the side to dodge the lash, but it does not come. Azazel has her own problems now as she dodges away from the shadowy's rays blasting from Darren. In the meantime, Vesa has put her helm back on. She shuts the visor and her body blurs for the barest of moments, then she disappears, invisible you think. Few choices come to mind. You could go for the book on the pedestal, but that's in the middle of the fight and it has been sold anyway. Another option is to go for your weapon. However, the closest thing is the exit. Although the doors are shut, are they locked? What do you do? I think I'm gonna go for the weapon. At least something in my hand would be better than nothing. And I don't think our boy wants to leave the little girl there, Phobe. I don't think he's very keen on doing that, but I would if need be. But I think I'm gonna go for the weapons. That holy sword seems to be the only thing of yours that these villains have any fear of. You best get it. The air tears open on the far side of the room. A horror leaps out of what must be a rift. Its hairless, naked fiend covered in oozing blood, long claws, large, pitiless black eyes, Water hisses and bubbles as though burning at the touch of the fiend's footsteps. Run to Krugel's robe that he laid out on the floor with your weapons. First, you grab your sword. It vibrates in your hand with such urgency, forcing you to look up. The blood-soaked fiend is stalking towards you. Another similar monster stepped out of the rift. You have heard of demons being summoned by other demons. That must be what's happening. These were probably summoned by Vesa or Azazel. The demon nearest you approaches slowly, as if savoring the kill he is about to make. I'm not to be harmed, you shout as you pick up your dagger and sheath it. I am an ally to Vesa and Azazel. You can see from his pitiless eyes that the way he moves, that there is no reasoning with this monster. He has come to slaughter, and that is all. You're not going to bother with your bow and quiver. There's no time. Okay. You spring to your feet and sword at the ready. Behind the approaching demons, Azazel battles the Dark Elf and perhaps invisible Vesa, but you don't pay much attention. These demons are much more pressing problem for you. The first demon is several places closer from the other. The one in the back is beginning to circle around. Your sword hums in your hand, and the blade begins to glow white. First thought is to retreat back into the corner of the chamber to give yourself a more defensive position. However, that will give them the initiative and perhaps constrain the swing of your sword. Yeah, it's a big sword too. It's not a broadsword, but still. The other option would be to go on the offensive and try to slay this closer fiend swiftly and even the odds. I mean, if they are as stupid as they're putting them, I don't think they would like use a technique to like draw me in and like circle around Rooster. So I think I'm gonna charge to the closest demon. Oh, did not do the trick apparently. Eye on the prize. Winner's focus loses spray. I don't quite understand what that means. Winner's focus loses spray? Michael Leboff? You will not let these fiends make you second guess yourself. If you turn, the other will strike. The ghostly figure whips past you so quickly you wonder if it's a trick of your imagination, but you hear a hissing sound behind. You spin around to see the other demon as it materializes. His caustic blood frothing the water in the hissing sound. You swing your sword as the demon strikes. One of his claws gets past your blade, rakes your stomach, and as you slash his chest. The wounded demon leaps back, his blood spilling and frothing on the wet floor. His back is now against the corner. He closes his fist again as you stab for what ought to be his heart. He turns to shadow, shoots through you. Your blade stabs the air and sparks against the wall. You spin back around to face forward. The other demon is closer now, his eyes filled with hatred, shouting something that might be curse in his own language. I mean, what language do they speak anyway? I think it's feral, right? Yeah, I think demons speak feral language. The shadow fills to his side and materializes as a gout of fresh blood falls, splashing on the floor, frothing the water. The newly wounded demon shouts a bone-chilling curse. Wait, who died? Oh, it's just some blood falling and not... Okay, no one died. Although the gashes on your pain are nearly crippling in pain. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just pain all around. At least the wounds self-cauterize from the burning blood that apparently is exuded even from their claws. Standing side by side. Yeah, how have I not died from an infection at this point is beyond me. Like, I don't know how the author is going to explain this. Like, I've accepted pretty much everything. I don't like to be too critical with this game, but I mean, how has the character not died of infection? Like, I'm not saying he has died of infection. Like, at least he should be like in fever. Like, there should be like a high fever running, and he should not be at peak performance at all times. Because I feel like he should be in a very bad situation, but he's somehow doesn't get ill, despite the fact that Egra is not here. At least we have the connection to her, but I don't think she is preventing the what is it called? The infection. Anyhow, although how is it a bone-chilling curse if we don't even know the language? Although the gashes on your standing side by side, the two fiends begin to close in. You have a feeling that playtime is over. After Grace is won, the first demon leaps forward and whips his arm at you, flicking a spray of blood droplets, pelting you with the points of burning fire. Right, got it. No doubt he uses this more as a distraction than the true attack. You could fight through the pain and charge. You may not expect that. Alternately, you could pretend to be blinded and grievously injured, try to coax them to you. I think that's what I'm gonna do. That sounds pretty good. Exaggerate your injury. Crouching, you cover your eyes with your free hand, screaming, "No, I'm blind," keeping your fingers parted as that you can see. Sure enough, one of the pair erupts with glee as he darts in, launching out of your crotch. Launching out of your crotch. You meet the demon halfway. Oh, crouch, not crotch. like, what the hell am I throwing from my crotch? Come? But no, it's a crouch, leaping out of your crouch. You meet the demon halfway, driving your sword through his body. The blade of your weapon ignites in white fire as it punches out of his back. He screams in pain. The blade sizzles as the noxious blood of the beast spills over it. You try to pull your sword out, but the demon grabs the blade, his mouth locked in eternal grimace. Meanwhile, you catch movement in your peripheral vision. What do? Pull your dagger out and stab it into the skewered demon's eyes. What is that going to do? I think I'm going to abandon the sword. For now, I think that's the best option. As you suspected, this demon was trying to delay you long enough for his companion to strike from behind. I do have a dagger. You let go of the hilt and leap to the side as claws narrowly miss you. I think I could use my dagger. You run. The sound of splashing and hissing. Oh, so we actually left the sword there. So that's the we were supposed to leave the sword, I think. Maybe there's a better option, I don't know. The sound of splashing and hissing is right behind you. As you zigzag between scrying stone pedestals, one of the crystals falls and shatters. The demon snarls, clearly frustrated that his prey is proving difficult to catch. A dark bolt of crackling power shoots past you from another direction, maybe from the dark elf. Pull your dagger from your cloak, turn and throw. Pursuer less than 2 meters away, the dagger flies true and pierces into his chest. He stumbles and... oh, so I've lost my dagger as well, great. He stumbles and curses in his horrid language. The other demon should be in place, right? The one I stabbed with the sword should not be able to move. And this one has just gotten stabbed with my dagger as well. He stumbles and curses in his horrid language with this low guttural voice. The demon's new wound froths and the dagger falls out. Half the blade eaten away. Holy shit, these guys are toxic. Your attack, although far from fatal, at least slowed it down enough to give you some precious distance. You reach one of the wider pedestals and get behind it, offering some cover. You snatch a scrying ball off the pedestal and throw it at the oncoming demon. The beast ducks and the ball sails over his head, crashing on the stone floor. In the distance, the first demon you skewered has since collapsed, the sword standing straight up from his corpse as though begging you to come back to it. Okay? Come back for it. The demon slides his hand along his body, collecting a palmful of blood and hurls it at you. The pedestal shields you from some of it, yet several droplets get splattering you on the chest. Swiftly it burns through your tunic and hissing into your flesh. How strong is this acid? Holy shit! What is this fucking... what is it called? That one acid from Alien movies. Molecular acid? Is it that? Shouldn't be like... that's... holy shit, that's insane. The demon sprints around the pedestal and you do the same, trying to keep it between you. With a snarl, the demon shoves the heavy pedestal over and you're barely able to dodge it as the stone table splatters on the floor. We were doing the circular go around with the guy. That's hilarious. The demon crouches, his claws up, preparing to leap. Prepare to dive to the side before he can pounce. There's a flash of steel and his head is severed from his neck with a spray of blood. What the hell happened here? The demon crouches, his claws are preparing to leap. You're prepared to dive to the side before he... okay, someone chopped his head off. Apparently. You dive as the blood spurts, a few droplets landing on your leg. Fighting through the burning pain, you roll back onto your feet. Azazel stands before you, smiling, the blade of her short sword steaming as blood spills off of it. The air shimmers slightly behind her. The succubus spins around, whipping her sword with terrible speed, striking something unseen with a deafening clank and a shower of sparks. Sprint to the corpse of the other blood demon and pull your sword free. Weapon ignites in white fire, evidently undamaged by the burning blood of the corpse. Oh, right, of course, it's a Lathian weapon. Highly doubt it would be destroyed from that. But okay, now Azazel is in the air, scanning the floor, a whip in one hand, her sword in the other. What do you think, Azazel? Shall I kill the boy and save you the trouble? It's Vessa's voice coming from seemingly everywhere at once. If you like, says Azazel, looking over at you for a moment, but continuing to roll her eyes about. I slew the one I was fond of, the cave pixie. Oh, so Darren is dead. Oh, I don't know, says Vessa. By the smell of the man, I'd say you are friends. Not wanting to be used as bait in demon rivalry, you shout out, that bat-winged woman is no friend of mine. I'm just a simple man who wants to leave and go about his business, not worth the trouble of killing. You raise your white flaming sword. White flaming sword a little higher for emphasis. This is my real friend, Demon's Bane. Not think so little of yourself, says Vessa. I think you're very much worth killing. Get ready. No, you say. Spinning around with your sword up. I'm not ready. Give me a few minutes. That's good. That's good. There was finality in her voice that tells you she's not going to give you a few minutes. How do you try to detect where Vessa is? Earlier you caught a glimpse of her shimmering and distorting the air. Maybe if you can look carefully, you can see that movement or other signs of her movement. Other options to watch where Azazel is looking. With her power, she might be able to detect the invisible succubus better than you can. Finally, you could try to get a sense of where Vesa is with your sword. From your sword, it might be able to detect her evil, just like it did with Thog's abomination back when you were caught in the darkness spell. I would prefer a very simple option, which is just look at the goddamn ground, considering the entire ground is filled with like an inch thick water. So as soon as she steps on the water, it would create a puddle. The water will be displaced and you will be able to see where she is coming from. So I don't know why all this bullshit is needed.